Good afternoon, parents. I recorded this video to help us understand graduation requirements for your students. I'm going to especially focus on general certificate, and this will be therefore of interest for students in grade 9 and grade 8. I'm going to talk about what they need, the course menu in terms of credits from the time they begin 1085 to the time they complete 1108 in grade 9. And I'm also going to share information about what the parent needs to know. There's a consent form for you to fill. I'm going to share that as well. And so let me share my screen and show the forms. So before we talk about payments, account number, and anything else, your child in general certificate will fill a form. This is how it looks like. I'm going to go quickly to, we'll need the date of birth for the child, the surname and first name, just as you want it. You want the names to appear on the official transcript. Eventually, when they complete, we need information from you, father and mother, guardian male and female, so that we can be able to communicate, or the office can be able to communicate with you. So this is the very important part that I need to explain. For every student, before they pay, even those that have paid before we bank the money on the Ugandan account that we shared a little bit with you in a circular, a student should have all the 4 categories or groups of subjects that any student should have in SEE. So they will do biblical studies, they will do successful living. Each of these has a credit, and they will take a course, or they will do PESs, about 2 or 3 PESs in apologetics, and they have a credit. Apologetics, we didn't have them as a compulsory, but now we do. Apologetics, for those of you who do not know, is a course that helps students to be able to understand more about the Bible and questions about, is it true? The word of God, where is the prophet? Did Jesus actually die? Where is the prophet? Is he coming back? Those kinds of questions. And so with the way the world is moving, we actually need this a lot. And then the core subjects, your child should complete general math in grade 8, then complete algebra in grade 9. English, they complete general English and English 1 in grade 9, then word building in grade 8. You see that these PES numbers, 1085 to 1096, that is grade 8. Then 1097 to 1108, that is grade 9. So at word building, they do word building in grade 8 and etymology in grade 9. Then we have literature, grade 8 and grade 9 literature. We have earth science and biology. We have world history and world geography. However, children, especially children who come from Europe or from Europe, they can do British and European history, but mostly our students really do world history. It's important for you to know that there's an option for them. Then they have a course. Each of these courses are 1 credit other than literature. Literature is half a credit for 6 books that they read in grade 8 and 6 books they read in grade 9. And that makes 1 credit for the general certificate. Then they must do ICT as a requirement. At school, we are doing ICDL. I know that many of you have not paid for ICDL, but it needs to be paid for. We outsource the service, both the platform as well as the teacher. We outsource them and they will need to be paid. So the student then will select 1 course from the applied studies course list. that I can share eventually, but that is still 1 credit. And then they will do a science project and a social science essay. They already have topics. The topics have changed from what they were last year to new topics for both science project and social studies project. And all this will give a student half a credit. It's a lot of work, but yeah, they need the practice. Then if a student wants to do extra credit, they can do it, but we need to write it here, to type it here so that everybody in ICCE knows that the child is doing extra credit and we hold them accountable. Then we indicate that this is, and there's a next certificate, or if your child wants to complete at this level, we make it clear. Then for them to register before we pay money or anything, we'll need a student's ID. So they can do their passport copy, their birth certificate, or national identification card. So, so that a student is legitimately registered as a student, as a Ugandan or a Kenyan, whatever. Then we need a letter of approval from the parent stating that they approve the academic projection. So when your children fill these forms, most of the courses are like compulsory, but for those that are not compulsory, the children need to select from a list, and then they share with you, and you will choose. You will consent to the child's course list. So we will send a letter from you, we'll send a letter from the parent, and then we will confirm that the child has paid. After all these things are done, your child will be registered as an ICCE student, and your child will have an ICCE number. So for every student, you at general level, you are studying in grade 8 and grade 9 from 1085 test number to 1096 is grade 8, and from 1097 to 108 is grade 9. After that, plus after they complete those paces and they've done their elective, which is 1 credit, they've completed ICDL, they've written an essay and a science project, they are ready to graduate. Before that, they need an ICCE number, and it is only given after the payment and after the paperwork has been submitted. The ICCE number is like a UNEB registration number that we used to have, and so it should appear on each of the students' tests. And when we are submitting their graduation documents, we submit them without the child's name, just as you do for UNEB, so that we ensure that the children receive fairness. Yeah. So I'm going to share one more document, and that is the parent's consent form. Here it is. So for the parent, the important thing is to understand that ICCE offers opportunity for students to go to university. You get your general certificate, which is equivalent to O level, and you get your intermediate certificate, which is usually in Uganda not really recognized, but we need it because you can't go to the advanced certificate before you do the intermediate certificate. Then you must have an advanced certificate to join the university. So if you're joining a university in Uganda, you will not use the certificate that ICCE gives you. You will have to go and equate it with UNEB. When you equate it with UNEB, then you have access to all universities in the country. But even if you wanted to present it abroad, you will present the one that UNEB has given to you. UNEB currently charges 250,000, but they require you to have to equate two certificates, the general certificate and advanced certificate. So you prepare 900,000 when the child completes their course. We anticipate that when a child has started on grade 8, they will take 1 year before they enroll for intermediate. Yes, so a child can be able to do general and intermediate, grade 8 and grade 9, but within 2 years. It's a 2-year course, but if a child can do it in 1 year, great. But we do not expect them to apply for intermediate before 1 year has elapsed. So there is 1 year between application for general and application for intermediate. That needs to be clear. I saw a parent ask something about it. So this is the form. You approve of the academic projection, you sign, and then the ICCE coordinator in the school, who is Mrs. Elizabeth Birungi, will also sign, and then we submit this letter. Like I said, the consent is mostly to know that we have spoken to you and we have let you know that ICCE will be it will give you certificates for both O and A, and you can use the certificate for university or college entrance in any country. But in Uganda, you'll need it equated by UNEP before it is accepted as before we accept it as SCE. I beg your pardon. Before it's accepted for admission in Ugandan universities, you need to equate it. So for your student, before you pay money, before you pay the £150, we sent you a letter saying that we no longer take pounds. For those of you who have shared pounds or sent in pounds already, Ms. Annette has communicated with you. And those who have not yet sent, we are pleased to announce that we now have a Ugandan account, or an account in Uganda where we send Uganda money. There's been a few challenges with sending the pounds, and so that is very good. However, the money has to be submitted as a school, because we have an ICCE number. We know we are known in ICCE, so they work with schools. So once we agree, we have signed the consent form, the child has accepted and selected an elective, then we are all ready to go, and then the parent will be notified to make payment. When you make payment in the school name. You're not making payment as an individual. So we'll give you more information about payment and the account number, but we would prefer you bring the money like we've been doing, and we send it, we take it and bank it, and then give you proof. One of the ways of proving that the money was deposited is the ICCE number, but you will also get a receipt with your child's name written in addition to the school name, so you know that your money was submitted. I hope this helps. And if we ever meet again on face-to-face, I would really love to see you face-to-face. But if we can't, we will, if you have questions, feel free to ask me questions, and then see you. Bless you.